Hello everybody, so today we're going to be solving radical inequalities using reverse operations. We're going to do a mixture of doing this by hand and also using technology to help support solving these questions as well. For my students, just a reminder, we do have our Unit 8 exam coming up on April 6th. We have our AP History mock on April 7th. The actual in-campus English 2 exam will be April 8th. And the AP Computer Science mock will be April 9th. So if you haven't done so, please be sure that you put those dates on your calendar. Let's move on. So for your do now, I would like for you to solve the inequality below. Negative 2x minus 4 is less than 10. What you can do here is you can go ahead and pause the video if you'd like to challenge yourself to this, because I'm going to go ahead and start working this out now. So let's go ahead and get started here. If I'm going to solve this, I'm going to use reverse operations to isolate my x value. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. This simplifies out. I've got negative 2x is less than 16. From here, we still don't have x isolated. We need to remove that negative 2 or simplify it out. So we're going to divide both sides by 2. And we are left with x. 16 divided by negative 2 is a negative 8. And then we did divide, you'll recall we did divide by a negative sign. So that would flip our inequality. And so this would be our answer here. If we had this on a number line, we could see this at negative 8. It would be an open circle. And we'd be going all the way to the right. If we were to do this with interval notation, we would see this going from negative 8, parentheses, because it's not inclusive, to infinity. So some multiple representations of how to answer this question. So x would be greater than negative 8. We have the graph here, and the interval notations would be parentheses negative 8 to infinity, both with parentheses because it is not equal to. Had it been equal to, then we would have had a bracket here with the negative 8. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on. We're going to go through a couple of steps here. When we're working with these radical equations, we're going to isolate the radical on one side of the inequality. We're going to raise the side of the equation to the power of the index to eliminate the radical sign. We then want to solve the remaining inequality. Check for extraneous solutions as well. That is a possibility. And then I do want you all to evaluate the inequality in Desmos and to write out your inequality. So let's go ahead and move on. Okay, so for this problem here, we are going to want to isolate the radical on one side. So when we have 3 square root of x minus 4 is greater than or equal to 5, what we can do here is we will add 4 to both sides. All right, we'll simplify out that 4. We would have 3 square root of x is greater than or equal to 5 plus 4 is 9. We still don't have this isolated radical because we have this 3, so we want to simplify him out. He is being multiplied, so we want to divide him out. The 3 over 3 simplifies out, so we're left with square root of x is greater than or equal to 3. From here, to undo this radical symbol, which we're on the second step here, we do want to raise both sides to the power of 2. Because this index value of this radical is 2, so the square root of 2, the square root and the power of 2 simplify out, so that leaves us with x is greater than or equal to 3 squared is 9. Okay, so we have x is greater than or equal to 9. If we were to write this in interval notation, we would go from 9 bracket, because we include it, it's also equal to infinity. This would be our interval notation. And to check our work, we can take 9 to see if it stays true to this equation here. We could say 3 square root of 9 minus 4 is greater than or equal to 5. 3 times the square root of 9 is 3, minus 4 is greater than or equal to 5. 3 times 3 is 9, minus 4 is greater than or equal to 5. 9 minus 4 is 5, is greater than or equal to 5. It is equal to 5, so this is true. What I've also done here is I've also taken the time to put this into Desmos. And you can see here that where it intersects the x-axis would be at 9. And we're talking about 9, everything to the right of it as we approach infinity. So everything here is true. Excellent. Let's go ahead and move on to another one. So here we've got the cube root of x minus 3 is less than or equal to 7. So we got a cube root. That's okay. We're going to follow the same techniques here. So when we have this problem here, what's nice about this is it's already to the point to where our radical symbol is isolated. Okay, so with our radical symbol being isolated, well, let's go ahead and take the time to write this out. We've got the cube root of x minus 3 is less than or equal to 7. To simplify out this cube root, what we want to do is we want to cube both sides. Okay, so cube and cube root simplify out. We have x minus 3 is less than or equal to 7 cubed. Well, 7 times 7 would be 49, but we have to multiply that by another 7, would be 343. So step 1 we did, step 2 we've done as well. We want to solve the remaining equation, so to undo that 3 there, we want to add 3 to both sides. And so we get that x is less than or equal to 343 plus 3 is 346. I've already gone ahead and checked my answer here in Desmos. It is 346. As far as our interval notation, okay, we are going to the right, to the left, I'm sorry. So we would see this 346 and we're going to the left. So then we would see this as negative infinity, because we read from left to right, parentheses, to 346, bracket. And a bracket again because we have that equal sign. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. So we have a guided practice problem here. What I would like for you guys to do is go ahead and pause the video here, try working this out, and then I'm going to go ahead and give the solution to this one here. Okay, so pause, work it out, and let me go. Okay, so now I'm going to work this out here. So we've got 4 square root of x plus 3 is less than or equal to 23. We would first subtract 3 from both sides. Simplifies out. I would have 4 square root of x is less than or equal to 20. We would then divide both sides by 4. So I've got the square root of x is less than or equal to 5. We then want to square both sides. Square and square root simplify out. That will leave us with x is less than or equal to 25. You can plug this into Desmos to see if this works. I'm going to go ahead and check this by hand. I would have 4 square root of 5 plus 3 is less than or equal to 23. I'm sorry, 25. There we go. And then we'd have 4 times 5 plus 3 is less than or equal to 23. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 3 is less than or equal to 23. And 23 is less than or equal to 23. So this is a true statement. So this value holds still. As far as our interval notations, we would be going from all values from negative infinity, parentheses, all the way up to 25. It is inclusive, so we would use a bracket. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So we've got a cube root here. So guys, I highly encourage you all to do this by hand. Try working this out, and then check your answer here. So go ahead and pause the video. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and start working this out. So we would have 5 cube root of x minus 1 is greater than 10. Step 1, isolate the radical, so we need to divide both sides by 5. The 5 simplify out. I would have the cube root of x minus 1 is greater than 10 divided by 5 is 2. So step 1 done. Step 2, to raise the equation to the power. So we want to go ahead and raise both sides to the third power. Third and third root simplify out, leaving us with x minus 1 is greater than 2 to the third. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So step 2 is done. Solve the rest of this. So we add 1 to both sides. I would have x is greater than 9. Okay. So once we have this value here, we can also represent it using interval notation. Okay. Our interval notation here would go from 9 parentheses, because we are not including the 9, it doesn't have an equal sign, to infinity. You can check your answer on Desmos. Okay. So next what we have is your independent practice. I do want you all to try this problem out on your own. Use Desmos to check your answer. The next slide, this problem here, I would like for you guys to try this out. Be careful with that -3. Remember, you want to simplify him out, so you would have to hint, divide both sides by -3. Okay. And lastly, you have your exit ticket, which I would like for you guys to complete on your pair deck. The square root of 2x minus 6 plus 3 is less than or equal to 9. This will all work out. All these answers do work out, so you want to make sure that you do those. That's going to be it for us today, guys. If you have any questions or concerns, please send me a message on Teams. I'll be more than willing to help you guys out. If not, have a good day, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.